Okay, how you doing? It's coffee break with Jimmy. And what I want to talk about today, it's kind of controversial of sorts, but not yet. That's not really. But Christopher Columbus, Donald Trump just said, the president just said the other day that he's bringing back Columbus Day. And what he said in conjunction with he's bringing back Columbus Day, along with say Mount McKinley and all these other things, names, there's bases that are going to change the names back to the bases, and I think that's all a good thing. Mount McKinley also, I mean, there's reasons for those names on those particular places. But he says bringing back Columbus Day and discontinuing Indigenous Peoples Day. Okay. Now, Columbus Day was a Columbus Day. It was for the one who discovered the Americas, right? And he followed that up with the Italian people are going to be really happy about that. Well, I have to tell you, I'm sorry to disagree with you, Mr. President, but Christopher Columbus is Portuguese. He's not Italian. And there's been some controversy about that. I think it was 1918 or 1915. There was someone that wrote about that, and they quickly quashed it. And then I guess in 88 they did it again. They're saying that Columbus is actually Portuguese. And there's a lot of reasons. Now, I have a cousin. He's a double cousin of mine. Our fathers are our cousins and our mothers are sisters. And so he's done the family tree on our family. And I found out during the course of doing the family tree that Christopher Columbus is actually related to us. At first we found out that he's related to us by marriage when he married Philippa. That's in the encyclopedia, where the governor of Porto Santo, or Port Sant in Portuguese, when he came there he was a sailor. He was doing some trading along the seas, and he was doing some trading in Port Sant, which actually he spent some of his young life in Port Sant, and found that out later also. There's so much that goes to that, and there's really so much that goes to the story about Christopher Columbus. And, even like his name really isn't Christopher Columbus. His name is actually Salvador Fernandez Zargo. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an interview on my cousin, and he's got all the goods. I believe he has birth certificates and even marriage certificates, where it shows that Christopher Columbus, when he did discover America, the first place he landed on an island in the Caribbean, and he named that island Salvador, or San Salvador. You've heard of it? And that's really his first real name. And so he named that island. Then he went on to Cuba, and he named it Cuba for his birthplace in Portugal, where Christopher Columbus was, in fact, born in Portugal. And you'll find out that he does have, his father was a prince, a Portuguese prince, third in line on the throne, and maybe there was some kind of a threat to the throne. I don't know all the ins and outs on that, but my cousin does. He has a lot of the goods on it. In fact, he's been to the Vatican a couple of times, and what they call the bulls, they're like scrolls, but they're called bulls, papal bulls, and it's written by they found these papal bulls that was written in 1493 and 1492 and 1493 about Christopher Columbus discovering the new land, and it was written by Alexander the Sixth. He was our what do they call him? They're looking to get a new one now. The Pope. He was our Pope at the time. So, and these papal bulls weren't discovered until 1992. So anything that was written before that, or there are some people that claim he's Spanish, and they claim he's Columbus. He's Italian, and that's largely in part because of his name. But if you track back his name, you'll find, and it's written, that his name was at one time, he was Cristobal Colon. And that was some family relative where he was changing his name that to his pen name. He was getting rid of the name that his real name, and he was changing it. So that's how eventually it became Christopher Columbus. But there's more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than that. But that's just one disagreement I do have with you, Mr. President. And And I think since going to bring back Columbus Day, I think this is a good time of any to straighten this out. And I mean, if you notice here lately, especially the 23andMe, the DNA thing, where you check your DNA and your family, see where your family is and where you came from, and so on and so forth. And actually, that's caused a lot of controversy, which I wouldn't be surprised if this, what I'm saying right now, caused a little bit of controversy anyway. But you got to get it right, right? Anyway, the Papal Bulls, it was written about, and it says in that Christophal, I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, Column, and they talked about that. And these Papal Bulls weren't discovered until 1992, and they're written in 1493. So that's something else we're going to talk in depth about all that also. But I do like the Gulf of America, Mr. President, and I do like Mount McKinley coming back, and I do like the bases that you're changing the names back to their bases, and so I do like all that because there's a reason for all that. But I do think we should have some kind of maybe a day for World War I and World War II. But I'm going to ask, please, don't change Memorial Day and Veterans Day. I am a veteran, okay, and I do know people who I remember on Memorial Day, people who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And that's what those 2 days are for. And that's only one day apiece. One day for the veterans, and there's only less than 5% of us. I believe it's closer to 1%, but less than 5% of us that actually join an all-volunteer military. And so I think that day there is for those who have made that jump to become military in whatever branch that you may choose. And then Memorial Day is in memoriam, the people who died and who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So I'd like to keep those 2 days anyway. I don't know exactly what you're planning on doing there, but World War I, maybe a day for that, and World War II, because we were the country that really made things happen and won both of those wars for us. And then we helped rebuild the nation that we fought the wars in. So there's a lot to do with that, and there's a lot of meaning that goes behind that. But anyhow, that's just a little disagreement I have with you, Mr. President, and I don't have any other ones. I can tell you that. I believe in you 100%, and now I know you say there's nothing that's 100%, and I get that. And I mean, what I was just talking about. I mean, it's okay. I believe in you as much as anybody can, because I really think you're going to get this country and our nation back on track. I really believe in, and I believe in you. But like I was talking about these, the only ones that really know on these 23andMe, this DNA, and whether this child's yours or this child's not, is the mother. The father really doesn't have. And not just real quick. I'll just here recently. One of my best friends found out that his oldest daughter, and he's have a son right behind her, wasn't his daughter. Now, he paid child support, and he got her through college, and all the above that dads do, only to find out after she turned 40 that she has a biological father. And this was this 23andMe, okay, this DNA thing. And then I had another friend of mine that just found out, maybe a month ago, he has 2 twin boys. And same thing, him and his wife got a divorce, he paid child support and all, yada, yada, all that stuff. And now he finds out, they're both in the military right now. But he found out just a couple of weeks, a month ago maybe, that they're not his children. And that and that caused a lot of pain for those 2 friends of mine, and because this stuff happens, and it happens now more than because the controversy that it causes, it brings something up that you would never know before, that if the mother would have known and would have said something, because they're the only ones that 100% know one way or the other. And in a lot of cases, it's really not their fault. But that's just something I just thought I'd throw in there. But I have actually got a new cousin. I have my cousin. I guess went to visit her brother that she never knew about. That he's now 63 years old. He did the same thing, the 23andMe. Found out because he never knew his father. Turns out his father was my uncle. And so, I mean, these are things that are happening now. A lot of people are doing this. And so since Columbus Day is coming back, Mr. President, you're bringing it back. And Christopher Columbus, he's the discoverer that I see of the Americas. And I'd like to see that come back. I really do. Indigenous People Day doesn't even sound right anyway. So anyhow, you got my vote on that, and I'm gonna do a little more research. I'm gonna have a podcast with my cousin, and I hope you like this one and you subscribe to this one and press that alarm bell. Let you know when I'm gonna be back doing another podcast. So. Press that notification bell for me, would you please? And I will see you next time on Coffee Break with Jimmy. Thanks.